July 19th, 2017. Welcome to the Philly podcast. And how about this? Right as I go on the air, the Phillies have collected 20 hits today in a 10-3 win over the Marlins. Nick Nick Williams had like two triples. Franco had a couple hits. Galvis had a couple hits. Pivetta pitched a good game. They won 10-3 today, 5-2 last night. And I'll tell you this right now: Nick Williams has been very impressive for the Phillies. I mean, he strikes out occasionally. Uh, he does a couple bad things here and there, but he's been a very good part in seeing. He's been very good in these last 6 couple weeks. He's been um, in the big club. Um, Nava went 4 for 4, a couple RBIs. I mean, they just really played very good last couple games, and then Velasquez coming back in the bull in the rotation last night pitched a good game. I really want to see him in the bullpen though. I really want to see him in the bullpen because he seems more. I mean, I think he's a very good pitcher. I think with the right um, coaching, I don't think he's very good with McClure as a pitching coach. But you get him a new pitching coach. You get him a new pitch. Hold on, my audio is all messed up. You get him a new pitching coach. I think he can go deeper in the ball games. I think he can probably throw a couple complete games like he did last year at the beginning of the year. So, but I can either see him go both ways in the rotation or in the bullpen. Probably as a closer. So, on my Instagram post, I said we're going to talk a lot about Ezekiel Elliott's issues, and apparently he just got pulled. He got pulled over last night, so that puts more shit in the stew with the whole bar thing, with you know all that stuff. So, and had that been another NFL player, I mean, I think that player would have been suspended. I mean, since Ezekiel Elliott is a Dallas Cowboy, I strongly think he's getting a lot of bypass, and he's getting away with it. So yeah, I mean, what would Dallas be like without him this year? I mean, I think they would be a very different football team. So put your thoughts in the group chat. I'll answer your questions, and we'll give that a check. Ben, let's talk 76ers. Okay, well, hold on, I'm just pulling this up real quick. I want to find the exact date when the NBA schedule comes out, because I'm going to be all over that, and more, and a lot of people around here are going to be, after that. Speaking of the NBA, Nike unveiled the new uniforms for the 2017-2018 schedule. Let me just see this real quick. I didn't get a chance to see it. I didn't know Nike was doing the uniforms. After this, we're going to talk some Sixers. I mean, I didn't really watch a lot of the summer league games for the Sixers. I'll tell you that right now, because I really kind. I mean, I watched Fultz's highlights. I know he played very good in the games that he played. But I mean, I really kind of didn't have interest in the summer league. Watching the summer league. I mean, I know you got to see a lot of the newer, um, the guys that were drafted like Ball, like Tatum. But I really just saw, really wanted just to see Fultz. So I'm looking at the depth chart right now. I think you have to keep Fultz, Redick, Simmons, Sarge, and Embiid obviously in the starting lineup. Simmons wants to take the ball. He wants to take the ball. I mean, to be honest with you, you have to keep those five in the starting lineup. You have to. I mean, that's what people have been excited for all year, and I really want to bring him off the court. They were talking about having Redick go off the court. Well, no, you have to keep him on. I mean, you could take him off for maybe a minute or two to get a breather or something, but you got to keep him on there. He's going to be a good 3-point shooter. So I mean, if that's the route they want to go with Fultz, I mean, you're going to have to throw him in at the forward. Or at the small forward, rather. I'm sorry. I mean, and then you have look at the bench. You have Okafor, McConnell, Johnson, Stauskas, Anderson, Holmes, TLC, Bayless. You have Covington. I know you don't have Covington. I'm sorry. I meant to say Bayless. McConnell and Holmes are on both non-guaranteed salaries. And then they think that Jonah Bolden, Lasort, and then Passanix is going to play on overseas. So, I mean, I mean, to be honest with they have to keep those five on the court at the same time. Fultz, Redick, Simmons, Dario, and Embiid. I mean, they're going to win a lot of games. They're going to win a lot of games this year. I'm telling you that right now. They're going to be a different basketball team than last. I mean, obviously the last 3 years since they were tanking, but since the city has been surrounding this basketball team, and since this all this hype, I mean, it's gonna be a very good. I mean, I think they're gonna have a home court advantage with them. Every home game is gonna be crazy. I mean, pretty much you can't really get season tickets anymore. You can't, off the Sixers website at least. I mean, you can always go to StubHub and everything, but it's gonna be a very different season. It's gonna be very different than the last couple of years, and obviously it's a good thing. But it would be a huge. I mean, I highly doubt this will happen, but there's always a chance. But it would be a huge letdown if they just are not good. I'm saying there's a chance that Simmons and Embiid might not play well together because they haven't. Remember, this is also Ben Simmons' rookie year. So you have 1, 2. And another thing is, you got to keep this team healthy. If this team is healthy, then heck, they're going to win a lot of games. They're going to win a lot of games, and they're going to go to the playoffs. I mean, I'm not thrilled. I mean, this team has to stay healthy. I mean, that's my one main concern. I'm worried about all five of them. I want to see these uniforms. They already released the Warriors uniforms from Nike. I mean, I like how they're going Nike. I don't really think, I think Adidas has kind of taken a step down, but look at the. I mean, like Nike's kind of taken over sports. I guess you could say. Well, I mean, think about it. If you have two of the four main leagues and probably some of the best colleges, like most of the college football and college basketball teams are sponsored by Nike. I mean, the defending champs, Clemson, was sponsored by Nike in college football. And in basketball, I mean, North Carolina's Jordan, which is Nike. So, I mean, Nike's kind of taking over sports with um, designing. I mean, you look at the MLB, they're majestic, but soon they're going to be Under Armour. Then you have the NFL, which was Reebok for some weird ass reason, and then it would move to Nike. And then you have hockey, who's going to be Adidas this year. Reebok is pretty much done. I mean, they're just absolutely done. And then you have the NBA, which is going to be Nike. So it's pretty soon it's going to be Under Armour, Nike, Adidas. So, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this Golden State Warriors jersey. It's obviously not much different, but I mean, you could tell the fabric's different and everything. It's very nice. Look at it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, let's check the live chat. Ben, let's talk 76ers. That's what we pretty much did. If you want to talk more, just give me a couple questions and then I'll answer them. I mean, I feel like there's really nothing. I mean, I feel like I want to talk. I will talk. I feel like the best time to talk Sixers is when the schedules comes out. Because then you can preview some other games. You can see, you can point out games you want to do and you want to look at, I guess. Not do. I mean, if you do a game, that sounds weird. Anyway, if you want to preview, that's really the time. That's perfect timing. And I mean, one viewer, one proud viewer. Nice. Thanks for tuning in. I know I get the majority of my views after the video is published and after the live is over, so, but it is what it is. Not many people can tune in at the time that they can because, people are working, people are doing different stuff, so, it's just fine. Just watch it when it gets on my channel. 3:30 on Wednesday. So, yeah, the week is moving pretty quick. Phillies are off tomorrow. They'll continue with a series on Friday against the Brewers, and we got one more week until Eagles training camp begins. They have the open practices on the 29th, which is next Sunday, a week from this Sunday, and August 6th. And the preseason openers in Green Bay. What's the date of that? August 10th. they'll play the Packers in a preseason game. The week 2 preseason game is when they come home and they play the Bills August 17th. August 24th is when they play Dolphins at home. And then there'll be preseason week 4, August 31st in East Rutherford to play the Jets. I'm looking at one of them. I really want a Dolphins game. Just to see a preseason game. I mean, it was kind of the best. I think the best preseason game. I mean, I know a lot of people don't watch preseason football. Was back in 2015. Last year, Chip Kelly, they had a preseason game against the Colts. I went to. It was a 1:00 preseason game. It was great. I liked it. A nice 1:00 game. Hopefully this year I'll hit more regular season than preseason. Last year I hit both preseason games and one regular season game. Hopefully this year, I'm trying to get to the Giants week 3. I want to see the 49ers. I want to see the Giants. I'm probably going to see the Giants at MetLife. I want to see the Broncos. I want to hit at least maybe hopefully 4 games this year. We'll see. Play the Bears week 12. That'll be a cool game. I'll have to figure it out, but I'm trying to get tickets for week 3 against the Giants. So like I promised, let's move with the whole Zeke Elliott. So uh, 40 minutes ago, ESPN came out with a documentary. Dallas Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott to appeal citation for driving 100 miles per hour. Wow. And then I'm just looking at the headlines right now. Jason Garrett, Ezekiel Elliott is someone we believe in. Well, you believe in him. You believe in Ezekiel Elliott. Well, I mean, that's nice. It's really nice. I mean, you better believe in him. In terms of football, I mean, you can't believe in him off the field because clearly he's deciding to go into bars and break people's noses, and then as on the drive home, he goes 100 miles per hour and gets pulled over. I mean, I'm not saying he did that on the ride home after the whole bar thing, but he's up to no good. I mean, in my opinion, the Dallas Cowboys get babied by the National Football League in terms of suspensions. They're awful. Ezekiel Elliott should be suspended. He should just be suspended, in my opinion, at least 6 games. I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm saying that because that's what he should get for causing a bar fight. And then I heard he's an asshole too. I mean, I remember last week I read something about he told a fan to F off. That's people that root for you every week. That's people that, I mean, I'm not saying you should get suspended for that, but it's just his whole thing. It's his whole person, his repertoire. I mean, it's a guy. I mean, if you see an NFL player that you root for in public, I mean, yeah, you should be able to say hi to him, and then they should say hi to you, and then maybe take a picture or something. I mean, that's what Carson Wentz would do. That's what Darren Sproles would do. That's what. I mean, I remember last year I met Jordan Hicks and Brian Dawkins at a baseball card show. They were very nice guys. They were very nice guys who treated me. I mean, they were cool. I mean, but to see Ezekiel Elliott and have somebody tell him to F off, or having him tell somebody to F off, I mean, it's just awful. It shouldn't happen. I was actually thinking about getting him for fantasy this year because he had a lot of fantasy success. But right now, any of you guys in the FaZe League listening, I'm thinking about getting the David Johnson. Well, I really didn't know. I didn't think of him in the first place because David Johnson's a much better running back, and that's another thing that goes in the Dallas bias. David Johnson was a much better running back, but they treated Zeke. I mean, I know he played for the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys had a much better record and they were a much better team than the Cardinals last year, but David Johnson was a better running back. But they gave Zeke all the attention. He was the number one running back. David Johnson, much better player. And Zeke's running through the line, which puts more, which shows that he's playing, he's kind of getting babied a little bit. I mean, I hate this whole, I hate Dallas. I just, like everybody in the city, most people in the Northeast section of the country, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate them. They're a disgrace to the football league. They're just a disgrace to everything. They always get in trouble. The media loves them. They're like the I've said this before. They're like the Democrats of football. They always get in trouble, but the media still loves them. Just awful. Just awful. He deserves at least 6 games on the bench. 6 games. Check the group chat. Not a lot of action in the group chat today. And saying let's talk 76ers. I want some more action in the group chat. So, I mean, if you have any questions, if you want to talk football, you want to talk basketball, you want to talk Phil's collecting 20 hits today. I mean, many people probably didn't know the Phillies even played today. They had a 12-10 game in Miami. Again, what they like to call a getaway game. I just got done watching. I mean, they played a great game. Won 10-3, 20 hits. Nick Williams, Daniel Nava, Miguel Franco led the charge. I mean, they have two very important. They have 2 big series against good teams coming up at home against the Brewers, who they played last week. Lost 2 out of 3 to, and then they play Houston start on Monday. So, all right, hold on. I gotta take a bathroom break. Okay. So, yeah, I just had to take care of a couple things with my mom. Wash my hands a little bit. I don't know why I got a little. I spilled a little coffee, and it was like a little sticky on my hand, and it was just like, I gotta wash it. I'm Italian. I drink coffee at least like 7 or 8 times a day. I'm just crazy with coffee. My caffeine. I wouldn't surprise me if I didn't have diabetes now. I'm just crazy. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit. I probably drink like maybe 3 or 4 cups of coffee, which is still a lot, but I don't drink 7 or 8. I'm not that nuts. Um, Doug Peterson yesterday said that, or the other day, said that he wants to win 9 games this year for the Eagles. Listen, Doug Peterson, he said a lot of shit this week. A lot of mixed reaction. I mean, I do think that the Eagles on paper are very talented. I think that they are very talented. They brought in a lot of young talent, or not young, but uh, they brought in guys to surround Carson Wentz and give him some weapons. But he compared them to the Packers of the 90s. You can't compare. I mean, I'm going to go off about this again. You can't compare this team from a Packer Super Bowl team from the 90s to a team that went 7-9 the last 2 years, has a second-year quarterback, a second-year head coach. You give them receivers who are good and a running back to surround them with and give them threat and give him guys to throw the ball to, who he hasn't even played with yet. Who he hasn't even played a game with. So I mean, I want to do that yet. I mean, if you want to compare your team to the '90s Packers, do it after you win maybe one or two a Super Bowl too. I mean, come on, God. And now he says he wants to win 9 games. Well, coach to win 9 games. There was like 2 or 3 games that Doug Peterson lost the Eagles last year. I could tell you one, and that was the Giants game at MetLife. That was awful. Kick the freaking field goal. Kick the field goal when you can early in a ball game, and they could have won that game. They could have swept the Giants last year. They could have. Andrew says, talk about politics. Everyone wants me to talk politics. Everybody does. I mean, politics is cool. But, I mean, I kind of went off again at Kaepernick yesterday. That piece of shit Kaepernick. He shouldn't even be in the freaking NFL. I mean, politics. I mean, Jesus Christ. Colin Kaepernick should not be in the NFL, and I'm glad he isn't. Thoughts on Nick Williams? We're finally getting some live chat action. Nick Williams is a monster. Okay, Nick Williams is probably my favorite guy on the team right now. I've always liked when young guys like him come up. Sorry, mic issues. He played a very good game today. He's having a very good go at it the last couple games. I mean, he's just a monster, dude. He's just a monster. And I saw the second game in his career up at Citi Field in that series against the Mets. And right from then, I think he didn't. I don't think he did very well that series because it was his first series. But I really liked how comfortable he was at the plate. I felt like he was very comfortable. And then I went a couple days later on the 4th of July, and I told my buddy Chris, that was sitting next to me, he's going to hit his first time run. He just looks like he's going to do it. Well, here, his first at bat, he cranks one. I'm like, oh shit, this might be it. This might be it. And then it finally gets caught at the wall. I'm like, God damn it. Fudge. Mike Holder. If any of you guys want to donate me a Mike Holder, it would be gladly appreciated. Yeah, he's 11 runs batted in, as Michael Barkan just said. Nick Williams, monster. He's fast. He has a very good arm to throw the ball in the outfield. I mean, he's just the man. The man. I think the next guy they're going to bring up, I mean, it depends on what's the whole deal at the deadline with all this Marlin shit. I mean, I mean, hopefully this whole series kind of convinced them on the whole Giancarlo thing. I mean, I don't know where that's going to go. I think they're going to be partners with the Marlins this year in the trade deadline. We'll see. I mean, but the guys that I don't want to be here at the deadline, Joaquin Benoit. Joaquin Benoit is awful. When they first got him, I'm like, oh shit, is that the guy that gave up David Ortiz's Grand Slam in 2013 against the Tigers? Sure enough, it was. I'm like, this guy sucks. This guy is just awful. I was kind of happy when they got Neshek, though. I mean, I really like Neshek. Unfortunately, I don't think he will be around after the deadline, but it is what it is. Come on, I want more live chat action. We're hitting our last 15 minutes. Or 10, 15 minutes. We'll see what goes on. RBI since the All-Star break. That's a league best. I mean, they are just. He's just raking. He's raking. First series win for the Phillies since the series against the Mariners. I remember I did a podcast on that on one of those games. Like while I was watching one of those games, I think it was the last couple days of June. So I can't believe it's almost like the end of July. Like, this is going quick. The good thing about it, we're almost hitting football season. The bad thing about it is summer's almost over, and we have to go back to school. I mean, whatever you want to look at it. I mean, some people like going back to school, some people don't. I personally don't. I mean, because it's just it can be a pain in the ass, but you got to deal with it. A couple more points. How about the LA Dodgers? That team is just going nuts, winning in their last 34 games, winning 30 out of their last 30. They're 30-4 after the last 34 games on a 10-game winning streak. They cannot be stopped. But the thing is, if you want to pick them in the playoffs, if you want to pick them in the MLB playoffs, I mean, that's just going to be very tough because they choke. They have a very good tendency of choking. This goes back to when the Phillies played them in the NLCS. I mean, like, they cannot go. They cannot get over the hump. They cannot get over the hump. They lost in the playoffs last year in the NLCS against the Cubs. I mean, they cannot get over the hump. Chris Hawkinson says thoughts on the moves at the deadline for the Phils. I mean, it's very, like I said, I think they're going to be partners with the Marlins. Candidates that are going to go are probably, I actually think Nava might go. I think Nishek's probably going to go, unfortunately. I think Benoit's going to probably go. Like, some of the veteran guys that don't really, they just bounce from team to team to team. I mean, if the Phillies are going to sell some of the veteran guys, they're going to sell them to contenders and see if they can help their team. I mean, Neshek is probably going to go to the New York Yankees. Now, probably not. I mean, he's probably going to go to a team that needs bullpen help. I mean, the Yankees just got 2 arms today. I totally forgot about that. Plus, they got Frazier, which is a big bat for their team. I mean, the Yankees are contenders. Are going to probably get to the playoffs. I mean, we'll see where that goes. But they're going to sell Neshek to the contending team. That's what's going to happen. To give him bullpen help. All right, we're moving in our last 5 minutes. So a couple final thoughts. Phillies just absolutely played great today. They have to play like this and continue to score runs against the Milwaukee Brewers this weekend. I mean, I want to see them take 2 out of 3 from the Brewers. I want to see them steal a game from the Astros. I mean, I know the Astros are going to be pissed off that Correa is gone for 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, it's kind of, I'm going to the game Monday, and I am pissed off because I cannot see Carlos Correa. I mean, at least I'll see Springer, Altuve, and all those characters. But, I mean, it is what it is. Sometimes you just got to deal with it. But hopefully the Phillies can steal a game from the Astros. Hopefully something will start. I mean, I want to see this be a much cleaner second half, obviously, than the first half. Zeke Elliott is an absolute he's an ass. He's a dirtbag. He's a shithead. Should get at least 6 games. What else did I say? I think all 5 of the Sixers should be on the court almost all the time. Fultz, Simmons, Saric, Redick, Embiid all should be on the same court almost all the time, because that's how they're going to win. I mean, don't sub in and out. Don't take Redick off the bench. They should be in the game. They should really be in the game. So, yeah. All right, I got my sister calling me. All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. I don't know what she wants, but we'll see what happens. So.